Christchurch earthquakes really highlighted the critical role that infrastructure plays in our day-to-day lives. While an argument can certainly be made that earthquakes are a foreseeable event, the scale and magnitude of the quake and the varied impact it had on the city's infrastructure was an eye-opening event. In a way, it brought attention to how important it is to update and maintain infrastructure, but also how important that infrastructure is to providing help in the event of an emergency and to the recovery of the city.
There is an unprecedented opportunity in the heart of the South Island of New Zealand. On the edge of the sweeping Canterbury Plains lies the beautiful city of Christchurch. Recently, the central heart of this city has faced incredible challenges. In the wake of the 2010 and 2011 earthquakes, over 70% of buildings in the central city have been or will be demolished. But the people of Christchurch have responded with over 106,000 ideas that have informed both the spatial blueprint and the Christchurch Central Recovery Plan. The blueprint identifies a number of key projects that will catalyse development, provide certainty, clarity, and inspire confidence. A frame of open green space will ensure a dense and vibrant core, while the Avon River will create a link between key projects. Living spaces, parks, businesses and commerce will evolve and grow to create a prosperous and exciting central city where people of Christchurch, Canterbury, New Zealand and the world will come to live, do business and experience all that the city has to offer. The Performing Arts Precinct will sit alongside a purpose-built state-of-the-art convention centre. Together, they will form the centrepiece of an exciting cultural and entertainment area in the heart of the city. The hospital will become the focus of the new health precinct. The Metro Sports Facility will be a top-class facility accessible to people of all ages, abilities and sporting skills. With the blueprint in place, the foundation is set for a whole host of successful initiatives. Initiatives based around clearly identified precincts that will attract a vibrant mix of people, commerce, technology, culture and sport. The Christchurch Central Recovery Plan isn't just a quick fix. It's a long-term vision that incorporates cutting-edge design and the latest ideas in urban planning. It's achievable, it's full of potential, and it's ready to fly. Join us in making the most of this unparalleled opportunity to create a central city that will transform Christchurch and inspire the world.
Land, to be developable, must have access to a network of supporting infrastructure and community facilities. Roads and/or rails, water pipes, and sewers are all generally needed for land development. If you want to follow the spread of development in New Zealand, or really any other country, you just need to take a look at how the railroads, then the highways and arterials developed over time. In addition to the roads and rails, if you want to achieve any kind of density, more than rural land development, then you need sewage and water access, followed by schools, hospitals, police, fire, the list goes on. And of course, infrastructure is needed for minimum health and safety and to protect the environment. Infrastructure assets are some of the most important assets of the country. New Zealand's are worth more than $115 billion and growing. If you were wondering how important this often mislabeled, boring subject is to New Zealand, Infrastructure is one of the largest components of government spending and comprises a significant portion of the country's assets and liabilities. It's also one of the things that we turn to when we decide to spend money to ensure we continue to have a robust economy into the future.
Queenstown's struggling economy has been given a major shot in the arm today, with the government coughing up $85 million to fast-track local projects. It says the cash it's kicking in will unlock a total of $300 million worth of projects in the area, but it's not clear who will cover the rest of the bill. At the announcement in Queenstown this afternoon, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said while lots of work is being done to support the tourism industry, other job opportunities need to be created.
And that's why it is such a pleasure to have the opportunity to partner with local government here and the local leadership here to announce $85 million worth of investment into Queenstown. That will include $35 million alongside the funding being put up at a local level for this town centre redevelopment, and $50 million that will go into phase one of a project to focus on the arterial routes around that town centre project. These are what they call shovel-ready projects, kicking off as soon as 3 months and 12 for some of the transport elements of the project, and the potential to create as many as 380 jobs here in the region.
Construction is the region's second biggest employer, and the projects will be a big boost.
So what are some of the things that infrastructure really does? Well, infrastructure is credited with things like creating short-term and long-term employment in construction, manufacturing, operation, and maintenance. There's a lot of work that goes into building this infrastructure and maintaining it and eventually running it and keeping it in order. So it takes a lot of jobs and a lot of people, and that's a big contribution to the economy. Most importantly, infrastructure makes a significant positive impact on productivity and economic growth. For example, transportation's contribution to the New Zealand economy is 5% of GDP in the last 10 years alone. So all of this road infrastructure allows us to move trucks and freight rapidly throughout the country, distribute goods and services, get people to work. And traditionally, infrastructure has also been credited with helping to remove inequities. Typically, a public good is available to anyone and can be accessed at low or no cost. And so it's a fair, or at least more equitable, distribution of public resources than a private good would have. Some also credit infrastructure with helping to attain desired quality of life in urban places and help to address sustainability goals. And so this is true also of the newly announced $12.5 billion infrastructure plan. The goal of this infrastructure plan, or at least one of the arguments made towards the spending of this infrastructure plan, is to use it towards long-term sustainability, towards climate change objectives, and that projects involved in this spending should have some relationship to New Zealand's climate goals.